Okay, so a flat rate loan is based on simple interest. Okay, so I equals P at N. That's our basis for this. And the amount of interest you pay remains the same for the whole term of the loan. So the interest per month is worked out always on your initial principal, the amount that you borrowed right at the beginning. Yes? It's on already. Okay, so that's the idea of simple interest. And that's the idea of a flat rate loan. Now in reality it's not it's not often or ever that you use this, but this is just to get you into thinking about. The reason we do this, it's a simple way of doing it that then gets us into thinking about when we do reducible interest, which is the interest is changing every month. Okay, the amount is reducing and it gets a little bit funny. Okay, so let's have a look at an example. Nick takes out a loan for $15,000 at 9% per annum for 4 years. How much does he pay in interest? So that's our first question. Okay, so how much does it pay in interest? Well, that's very simple. It's doing simple interest. So we have I, which is the interest, equals P, which is $15,000, times 9%, which is 0.09, times the number of periods, which is 4 years, equals 5400, thank you. Okay, so 5400 is the interest. So he pays $5,400 in interest. Alright, so it's not the most. Alright, so he pays that much in interest. Next part is, what is the total amount paid back? So your bank gets from Nick $15,000 plus $5,400, which equals $20,400. This only works for simple interest because the interest stays the same the whole time. When it's compound interest, or when it's reducible interest, based on the new amount, it's a little bit more complicated to work out because as interest gets added on and then you pay back, the interest changes, and so this is sort of going up slightly, going down, going up. And so it's actually not straightforward, but for simple interest, it is straightforward like this. Now he owes this much to the bank. What are the monthly installments? So every month he's going to pay a certain amount back. He needs to pay back this month, this much in 4 years. So 4 years is equal to 48 months. So we just need to divide this one by 48. So this one divided by 48, so 20,400 divided by 48 is equal to 425. Thank you. $425 per month is the repayments. All right. That's how much he has to pay back per month. So the idea is, you work out the interest, add it on to the amount that you borrowed, then becomes total interest plus principal, then divide it by the number of periods. Typically months. Usually it's monthly installments, monthly repayments. Right? Mortgages, most loans, it's just. Alright. Now next one is Lauren takes out a loan for $20,000. The term is 3 years and the monthly repayments are $647.22. How much does she pay in interest? What is the interest rate of the loan? Alright, so this is using the formula in a different sort of way. Somebody should understand. So first thing is, part A, how much does she pay in interest? Well, first part is we've got to work out how much she pays in total. So we have to take the 647.22 multiplied by 3 years worth of months. Okay, so we have 36 months. Times 647.22 equals 3299.92. Let's just round it up to 3,300. So the total of the interest 232 so I'll do 23200. Okay, 23300. Alright, so the interest is I equals 23300 minus 20,000. Did you take it off already, Reg? Oh yeah. Alright. It's 3,300 in interest. That's our first one. Right? Now part B, what is the interest rate of the loan? So we've got to use the formula, but we then have to rearrange it. So we say, well, remember I equals PRT, or I equals PRN. So we know what P is, we know what N is, we don't know what R is. But we also know what I is, so we can use this without too much trouble. So the I is 3,300 equals the principal, which is 20,000, times R, which we don't know, times the N, which is 3 years. So now what we can do is, what do we have to do? We can do that. Okay, so we can do that. So 3,300 equals 60,000 R. Divide both sides by 60,000. So R equals what? 3,300 over 60,000 is 0.055. And so the rate is 5.5%. It's applying the whole thing on rearranging formulas, making sure you're changing the subject and all these things, so you should be able to do this. So that's doing that. The last example for this one I'm going to show you is calculate the term of the loan if 9,000 is borrowed at a flat rate of 12.5% and a total of 18,000 is paid back. Alright, so $18,000 paid back to the bank after borrowing 9,000 at 12.5%. The question is how many years did we have to borrow? What was the term of the loan? Okay, so interest. Remember this, we talked about this when we did this before. Interest is always the difference between total repayment and the principal. That's how you know what interest is. Anything above what you actually borrowed is going to be the interest. Because that's what interest is. It's like a fee for borrowing money. You're paying for the use of their money because you don't have it at the time. So interest equals 18,000, which is the total payments, minus 9,000. So that is equal to $9,000. Okay, so we've got $9,000 there. Now what we can do is put it into the formula. 9,000, which is the interest, equals the principal, which is also 9,000. times the rate, which is 12.5, 0.125, times the number of years, which is what we're looking for. Now, if you notice something here, what do you notice about the 9,000s? So what can you do to both sides? Yeah, you can divide both sides by 9,000. So you cancel them out. So you're left with 1 equals 0.125 times n. You divide both sides by 0.125. You get n equals 8. So the term is 8 years. Okay? And so that's what it is with simple interest, getting flat rate loans, thinking about what the rate is, all these types of questions. So there's various variations on this, but I would like you to have a go at exercise 5.2, and then we'll move on later on.